Hi everyone, and welcome to the April monthly vibe. So I am so excited about this month and what is ahead. This is going to be a really interesting month. I have to say, and when I say that, I mean it in a very positive way actually. There's going to be a lot of new pieces of information coming forward to us in the quantum field. It's going to be carrying good news. It's going to be carrying answers that we've been looking for and searching for. You know, there's kind of like answers that just loops and loops for months and months, probably even years on end. This month is going to be a really cool month, especially during the first week, where a lot of things are going to start to become clearer, where you'll be like, now I get it. Now the pieces are starting to come together, and you'll feel quite a sense of contentment with it as well. Even though it might not necessarily be the answer that you want, the answer is going to be enough to make you feel like, I got closure. I feel good with that. I feel good with what I haven't been, necessarily been comfortable with lately. So it's finding the truth of the matter, but feeling comfortable with whatever it is that you might find. And you'll also find that you'll be emotionally in a place where you can receive that much better. You'll be able to receive that much more emotional maturity, much more clarity as well. It's almost like kind of, that feeling of like when something happens, you see the story behind the story. That's exactly what's going to be happening. Even though the story behind the story is not necessarily clear to everyone, it's going to be clear to you and applicable to the areas that, of course, affects you. And you're going to be starting to see things from a really cool, interesting perspective. And I invite you to kind of get used to that. Allow more of that to come into your life as well, because awareness of a problem is a problem to have solved. So that's kind of like the place where you're going to be finding yourself in this week, especially the beginning of the month. You're going to start to find that to be especially true. And so also a little bit later in this week as well, there's going to be a beautiful healing vibe coming in as well. And when I say healing vibe, I mean this is going to be somewhere along the lines of, you might just say something and it's going to have just this beautiful ripple effect into someone's life. You're just going to be able to help them shift and shape something that they haven't been able to quite figure out or do for themselves or find closure with. So it's almost like, imagine that you're becoming that last piece of the puzzle, and you just said that one thing and you don't even know that what you just said or did was so gigantic to them. And for them, it's just going to be like that last little piece of the puzzle, and everything's just going to go click, 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 click. And so having said that, just keep in mind here, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the one that's kind of like initiating this. It could actually very well be that the roles are now flipped, and you could be at the receiving end of someone just saying something, and it just bum, everything just, just locks into place. And it's like that, like that halo moment that you might have about something. So this is actually a really cool month to look forward to. I really kind of like this beautiful vibe where it's about, it's going to give something, but it's also going to, like, even though it's giving something, there's an aspect of you that's going to, return that without you actually even realizing it. It's like effortlessly just being like this little earth angel that's helping people to move around and shake things around in a very, very positive way. And that's also what's coming forward, is that the message is all about it actually being positive, which is, I'm all for that. And also what will be coming up this month is you're going to find yourself going through a bit of a vibe where it's like, it has to be done this way, it must be done this way, it's like it's my way or it's the highway. Or it could be that you might be crossing paths with someone. It depends more. If you're kind of like more the peacekeeper, more the introvert, you might be the one at the receiving end of this. You might be the one being on the fire line of someone that could be coming forward a little bit harsh. But if you're more a bit like the extrovert, the one that's kind of like the flamboyant, verbal, you're a bit out there in a good way, of course, because you. And so I'm just joking. So in that case, be mindful of how you could come across, because it's more so that your passion that you're feeling could be a little bit aggressive for someone that might be at the receiving end of that. So, yes, you may be trying to get things done. Yes, you're excited about something. You really want to just get it moving and just get it out, right? So I know I could sometimes be like that when I get excited about something. You push a little bit too hard. You maybe say things a bit out of passion, because you just want to get your message across clearly, and you're juggling many things. it can sometimes come across the wrong way. So it's a really great idea, especially mid-month, to kind of like be mindful of that. Be mindful of how your message comes across. And so, of course, if you are on the receiving end of that, if you feel like, wow, I just feel really burnt by what someone just said, know that this is not personal to you. It's not that the person is necessarily a bad person. There is a bit of a vibe coming in that's giving people a bit of a fire. It's giving people a bit of a push, because things have been, you know, in general speaking, a bit laid back, you know, and now it's kind of like time for it to pick up again. And March is a very great creative month. So, sorry, not March, April. We're in April. And so this is a great month for that. And so be mindful that if you feel that push, if you feel that creative vibe and ride coming in, you know, don't get swooped up by it too much. It's a bit like this, you know, a strong wave from the ocean coming. If you don't know how to stabilize yourself, that wave is going to take you out. Whereas if you do know how to kind of like catch it, either dive into it or you stand really strong with your foundation and your feet, then it cannot knock you over. So that's kind of like a bit what mid-month of April is going to feel like. So that's also another hint there to be mindful of. And if you can get over that, you're going to be on the path to towards a tremendous amount of success, whether you're helping someone to create something successful or if you are the initiator of that. And so also closer to the end of the month, this is, I love the full moon that's going to come up the end of this month, because this time it's all about clearing out what just doesn't serve you anymore. It's out. I mean, like, it's out. It's done. It's out. Whether it's aspects of your personality, whether it's aspects of your habits, whether it's, you know, relationship dynamics, friendship dynamics. It's more like what it is that hasn't been serving your purpose, it's gonna need to go. The full moon at the end of the month is also gonna be like, no, out. We're done. We're absolutely had enough of this. And whether you're kicking and screaming and you don't like it, tough. The vibes is just like, you're done. You're not listening. Okay, well, now we're going to take it away for you. So if you've been asking for change, sometimes we want change subconsciously, we just don't realize it, but in most cases we do. And when I say we don't realize it, that can come forward in the sense of like just feeling really unhappy about something, feeling really depressed in circumstances, and that's because you're longing for change, but you don't quite know what kind of change. Or it could be that you don't quite know how to initiate that change, and or what the change even should look like, right? Sometimes we are in that gray area, and I definitely know that I have been in that quite a few times myself. So I fully grasp that, I fully understand that. And so when a change does come, it can feel like it just hits you out of the left field, and it's like, what just happened? What just brought that on? How did I create that? It's not how you created it. It's much more so now you being in this wave, right? This vibe, this wave of change, and whatever subconsciously you're wanting to change or needing to change, that wave is going to magnify it. It's going to go like, boom, here you go. It's like genie in a bottle. You wanted that? Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. There's no more self-sabotage. There's no more secondary gains. So I have to say, I look forward to the end of this month. I look forward to it, because at the end of the day, whatever that change is, even if you can't see it in that moment, you will be thankful for that change down the line. So this is actually a positive change, even though it might not feel like that at the moment. So guys, until next time, be the light that you are.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling you because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Evette Rose, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!